trade skills are an important part of Lost Ark, and you'll need to do some gathering to get some basic things done. But you'll also want to eventually focus on one particular profession to speed up your upgrading process and earn you some gold. The amount of gathering you can do per day is limited, but there's still a way to get value out of your trade skills for every type of player. Hello, my name is Crypt13. Welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to talk trade skills. There are 6 life skills in Lost Ark. Each life skill has its own progression and various types of abilities. For example, for foraging, once you reach level 10, you can start gathering mushrooms. And then there are a set of mastery skills that will increase some passive skills. For example, you can increase the chance of getting rare materials whenever you forage. And then if we take a look at something like mining, we have very similar mastery skills. For mining at level 10, we have this new ability where if we press G at the perfect time, we have a chance to obtain a rare material. So abilities will vary from profession, but the general overall leveling progression is the same. The level of your life skills as well as the tools that you use for gathering will be shared among your whole roster. All of the crafting that you do with the items that you get here is done in your stronghold. The lifeblood of trade skills is the work energy system, which is accessed by pressing the B button and having this green bar pop up. Every time you gather, you will expend some of this energy, and this resource also fills over time even while you're logged out of the game. This is why it is recommended to try and not have this resource capped, because any energy that you're not using, you aren't getting materials in order to craft things to aid you in the game. The energy will refill to full from completely empty in about 2 days. So trying to use half of this bar every day is a good way to keep it from capping. Do note that this work energy is not the same as the durability of your tools. Durability of your tools is completely separate. By hovering each tool, you'll be able to see the durability for them. I mentioned earlier, but each trade skill gives you a set of buffs. However, really, there's only one buff that you're really looking for, and that is Super Armor. Super Armor is going to make it so that while you're gathering, you won't get knocked back by any enemy attacks. Even if the tool is not of high rarity, if it has the basic effect of Super Armor, you should definitely grab it. It'll be a while until you start optimizing your tools, so getting it now is definitely going to be worth it. Now, what does each trade skill profession do? For foraging, you're mostly going to be creating battle items and healing items. Logging and mining are pretty much used for doing things in your stronghold and building structures and repairing your boats. Hunting, fishing, and excavating have a primary function to craft a tier 2 and tier 3 honing material. That item is this Kaldar fusion material. You're going to need quite a few of these in order to progress your tier 3 and tier 2 item level. And then the secondary function for hunting is some food and some other stronghold structures. For fishing, it's more food and then also flares and other ship parts. And then for excavating, it's for making more trade tools, maps, and awakening potions. Early on in the game, you'll want to do a good amount of logging and mining so that you can get materials to just research in your lab. Getting the research done in your stronghold is going to be pretty important just so you can unlock some of the basic stuff. So it is definitely highly recommended to do some logging and mining early on in the game. Eventually, you'll definitely want to focus in on one profession because it'll be a nice way to get you gold and make your own fusion materials. So which profession is going to be good for you? Each of these professions is built for a different type of player. Foraging, logging, and mining are pretty easy professions that can be done without much effort. Foraging is probably going to be really popular because it's going to yield you some pretty decent gold between the 3, foraging, logging, and mining. Foraging gives you potions and battle items, which is very useful for doing content in the end game. And while other players are focusing on other professions, they're going to need to come to you in order to get those healing items. Logging and mining are the same way. While other players are not focusing on that, they're going to need to find a way to repair their ships in the stronghold. So they're going to come to you for those materials. Hunting is going to yield a decent amount of gold from selling those upgrade materials. However, hunting is a little bit more involved because you have to go out and hunt bunny rabbits. Hunting nodes are also shared among the world, so if you hunt in popular areas, it could be hard and it can get competitive. Fishing is really easy and it's completely stationary. You don't really have to be engaged in this. All you really gotta do is listen for the audio cues to fish up your fish. You can easily do this trade skill while you're doing other things like watching TV or anime. Fishing areas are also in completely safe areas, so there's no need to get super armor on this tool, and also the nodes aren't shared. You can fish all of the fish you want without moving and without being bothered. Excavating is going to take the most effort, but it is the most rewarding. The amount of materials needed to craft the honing material is less than fishing and hunting. However, you will have to move a lot and actively search for these materials. Nodes are also shared just like hunting, so it can get stolen by other characters if you excavate in the same area. Now, if trade skills seem like a lot of work to you, then you can also do gathering in the Stronghold. For the players that don't have enough time to do gathering, this is going to be where they're going to be spending their work energy. The amount of work energy that you spend in your Stronghold is much more compared to gathering in the open world, so you'll be able to deplete that work energy bar really fast. The gatherables here will reset daily based on your server's daily reset time. All of these gatherables can be taken by anyone that visits your Stronghold, so make sure to adjust your privacy settings if you don't want people stealing your gatherables. The gatherables here are also different materials than the ones you gather in the open world. Additionally, all of the materials here are bound, and everything that you make using these materials are also bound. This means you can't make any gold off of this type of gathering. You also get less trade skill XP, and you can't get any world tree leaves collectibles from gathering here. Now, it might seem like gathering in your Stronghold seems not very worth it. However, the reason that you do this is to make sure that you're still getting some return out of your work energy gauge. The time that you save not gathering can be spent doing other things in Lost Ark, and so people will value their time differently. This means that choosing to spend your work energy here isn't bad or inefficient. The only bad way to use your work energy is to not use it. And so ultimately, this means that trade skills are not mandatory. In fact, many Korean players say that this is one of the most optional things that you can do in Lost Ark. It might seem like gathering is necessary because it gives a lot of benefit, but if the time spent gathering is better spent somewhere else that also consistently yields you some gold or some progression, then you can clearly see that trade skills can be considered optional. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as Zhongli says,
every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
So this is a reminder not to feel pressured to do everything in the game. Play the game at your own pace, and don't let the FOMO affect how you want to play this game. If this video helped you out, drop a like, leave me a comment down below, consider subscribing to the channel. Links to Twitch and Discord are also in the description down below, and until next time, I will see you guys later.